England are through to the semis in what was again another not particularly convincing performance. But if we win the Euros, I don't really care how we win the Euros. But I do feel if we come across a big team, we may be in trouble because it wasn't great again. Switzerland deservedly went 1-0 up. We weren't offering much in the first half, but there was a few bright sparks. There's a few things that I think we need to change, and I'm going to start one of the bright sparks because today's video is 5 things we learned from England 1, Switzerland 1 in the Euros, and that was that Bukayo Saka was absolutely brilliant today. He was man of the match. There's no debate about it. I thought Mainoo had a good game, but he came off. I think Palmer looked good when he came on. Eze looked good when he came on. Konsa had some good moments, but nobody comes close to Bukayo Saka for man of the match. If you just look at his game numbers here, 100% dribble success rate, 9 out of 13 dribbles won, 4 out of 4 dribbles completed, 9 crosses, 3 out of 4 tackles won, 3 shots, 2 chances created, 1 goal, ranked first for every single one of those statistics. He absolutely cooked his fullback. The Switzerland fullback could not deal with it. Saka was playing right wing back, and I was like, you've played Saka at wing back, and you're not playing him on the left because he's left-footed. I thought that was questionable from Southgate, but it worked. Saka is playing out of position and playing brilliant for England. You know, Foden's been playing out of position. He's been stinking it up, and everyone's saying, oh, he's playing out of position. Southgate changed formation to accommodate Foden. He still wasn't good. Saka's been changing position to be more of a defensive player. Obviously, he was getting in similar positions, and he was brilliant. You know, can we start putting some respect on Bukayo Saka's name, more respect on his name, because I've seen all over Twitter, all over the internet, drop Saka, drop Saka, drop Saka. Saka has been good for England. He was good at the World Cups. He was good at the last Euros. He has been consistently good in an England shirt. I said this multiple times. Rashford, Kane, Saka in an England shirt has been England's best front three the last couple of years. Rashford's had a stinky season. He didn't make the England squad, but Rashford has 23 goal contributions in 26 starts for England. Foden has 4 goals in 29 starts for England. Rashford has 17 goals in 29 starts for England on the left wing. You know, you have to go with what works. And I'm not saying that Bukayo Saka is necessarily an all-round better player than Foden. Foden is a special player. Foden is a great player. But Bukayo Saka is, for England, a great player that should not be dropped. It should be Foden if you're going to drop anyone for Palmer, not Saka. Okay, because there's so much slander of Saka shouldn't be starting for England. Saka isn't great. Saka doesn't show up in big games. Saka limps off. I see so much Saka slander as a Man United fan, and I can't get my head around it because anyone who watches football knows Saka's a brilliant player. He started for England because he actually performs in an English shirt. Yes, he has the odd bad game here and there, but so is everyone, and he deserves his place. I thought he was brilliant. I think he deserves more respect. The one person I'm not convinced about, and I've never been convinced about, is Gareth Southgate. He's got to make more subs. We were getting to like the 78th minute. Switzerland just scored and we'd not made a sub. But from the second half onwards, it felt like it was going Switzerland's way. I think the first half of that game, England were right, and we looked better than the Slovakia game. I thought we were showing something in the first half was going all right. But I thought that second half, the game was going away from us. We were crying out for subs. We were so deep, we could barely get our own half, and we had no outlet. And we're going to talk about that in the third point. We needed to make subs. We go 1-0 down. The only good thing about going 1-0 down is it forces Southgate to make subs. He finally makes some subs. He takes off Mainoo, which is crazy because Mainoo was one of the better players on the pitch, probably the second best player after Saka, but that is him. And he brings on subs, and with the energy of the subs, and now we have to attack, we score. If only Southgate would change things up, take more risks, be more attacking, we might actually look better. Like, I know we're winning games, but we're winning on penalty shootouts, we're winning just. We haven't actually played a team where we're the underdogs or where it's very equal. It was not convincing, and the fact that he's very rarely making subs worries me. Like, Ivan Toney, the last game, only got 2 minutes, and then obviously Bellingham scored, then obviously extra time happened, and Ivan Toney came on today, scored a penalty, but we've seen Ivan Toney given 2 minutes, Anthony Gordon given 2 minutes. We need to see subs more, because that problem was that left-hand side again. The left-hand threat and attack lacks. That everything in attack comes through Saka. We don't go and utilise the left-hand side. We don't attack down the left-hand side until he made the subs with Luke Shaw, Eze and Palmer going down that left-hand side. And all of a sudden, Switzerland had 2 flanks to defend against and we became less predictable. We need to do that more. And this is why I can't understand why Anthony Gordon has been given 2 minutes all tournament. Now, Eze was very good and I think Eze deserves to be coming on. But when you're looking at England and you're looking at they can't get out their own half and when they do have a chance to attack, Bellingham's not a sprinter. Kane's not a sprinter. Foden isn't known for his pace. If you have a Rashford or have an Anthony Gordon, that gives you an outlet in behind, so a form of getting out, a form of breaking out in transition. You have that on the right in Saka, and it works well. But if you had Rashford, which you don't, and the most similar player to Rashford is Anthony Gordon on the left, I just think England taking Foden out the side, putting Anthony Gordon on the left with Luke Shaw at left back, Luke Shaw and Anthony Gordon overlapping on the left, Trent and Saka overlapping on the right hand side. That would sort England. I generally think Trent, Stones, Gay or Konza, I don't mind who of the two, Shaw, Rice, Mainoo, Bellingham, Gordon, Saka, Kane. Potentially you could argue Ivan Toney for Kane at this rate with Kane's form. England would look so much better. The whole thing is least we're winning. There's a lot of negativity around England. There's a lot of people raging. But then they were in a semi-final. Like, do I rate Southgate? No. Do I think Southgate is a good manager? No. Do I think that the individual brilliance is balling out England? Yes. Look at the goal Saka scored. Look at the goal Bellingham scored in the last 2 games. We are winning those games because of individual brilliance, because we're not being coached to play like a team and create chances. Obviously, fair play to the other team defending well, making it difficult for us. I don't rate Southgate. But I do think there's too much negativity online. It's not great. It's not convincing. I question his subs. I question who he plays. I question the team. I question the lineup. I question the tactics. But we're in a semi-final. We're in, 3 out of 3 semi-finals in his last 4 tournaments. This is the furthest that England have ever done in sort of tournaments at this rate. We can win the competition. We're through. We've won. We've got to be positive. We're finding ways. But yeah, Southgate has to go after this tournament. And number 5, Kane and Foden poor again. I was picking on Foden to begin with, and I think that's just because of the amount of hype around Foden going into this tournament and the fact that he doesn't seem to take Foden off or change it. I think when Foden came off for Ivan Toney in the Slovakia game, he got better. But Foden and Kane, they're not working. Play Anthony Gordon on the left instead of Foden. I know Foden didn't play on the left, he played central, he changed formation, but I want to see back 4, Anthony Gordon on the left instead of Foden, Foden on the bench. Play maybe Ivan Toney instead of Kane if it's not working. That is what I want to see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below, but that is my 5 things we learned from the England game. I want to give a shout out to Eze, who was good. I want to give a shout out to Cole Palmer, who was good. And what I'm going to say about the penalty takers, because I haven't mentioned this yet, is that all 5 penalties were brilliant. And actually, when it went to penalties, I had this feeling we were going to win. I said Cole Palmer's on the pitch, brilliant penalty taker. I said Ivan Toney's on the pitch, brilliant penalty taker. Bellingham, he'll just score it. He's cold like that. I said Saka, brilliant. He scored a lot for Arsenal. And I'm so glad Saka scored, because if he'd have missed and got slammed that would have been absolutely horrible, after he was the only reason we even got to penalties. And because he missed in the last Euros, I needed Saka to score that. And Trent was a good penalty. The penalty takers were great. They stepped up. They did their job. I believed we were going to score 5 out of 5 penalties with the takers we had, which is the first time I think I could ever say that about England in the penalty shootout, because we actually have good penalty takers in our team now. And that was a positive. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Eze was really good. Palmer was really good. Luke Shaw looked alright. I thought all the subs were quite good, to be honest. I thought Konza had a decent game. Mainoo was good, but Saka easily man of the match.